Welcome to the Bud Rebel Show. This is a show unlike any other show. We have a Bud part of it, which is just being good, having a fun time, and a little bit of a rebel side, which is outside that trapezoid. We're going to meet a very interesting guest. We're going to talk about products that will make you either a lot of money, lose your money, or just something you never heard before. We're also going to be talking about some of the hot topics out there in this country and some hot music and different things that you never heard anywhere else. So stay tuned for the Bud Rebel Show and we hope you have an awesome time. Thank you. So my guest today for the Bud Rebel Show is Cori. How do you pronounce your last name?
Schimko.
Schimko. See, she's unusual. That name alone is unusual. I'm going to learn to pronounce your name by the end of the show, hopefully. Cori came, if you listen to the radio show, listening to, not singing, Cori came dressed for the show in a very unique outfit, sort of scary to people like me who are not biggest fans of clowns. So if you just listen to it on the air, you don't have to see this scary expression. Sorry, Cori. Cori, I just want to know, how come you decided? I didn't tell you to wear this outfit,
No.
did I?
No.
Okay, so why the clown outfit?
Well, it's Halloween, and I was scared to be on the Bud Rebel show, so I was like, what if I dressed up in a clown outfit?
Well, you're sort of scaring, not just a clown outfit, but if I'm looking at it correctly, there's a little baby hanging from your ear.
Yeah, there's a little baby earring.
Baby, and do you wear that normally? Is that a normal earring?
Yeah, sometimes. Well, I mostly wear it like with my costumes because it's kind of heavy and it like weighs down on my earlobe a little bit,
Okay.
Which is very uncomfortable after a while.
And the baby has like doesn't look like a happy baby.
No, he's like dead.
Oh, that's not
Stick happens.
okay. So, Cori, we're getting to already before we meet you that long with the unique side of you. Matter of fact, one of the other unique sides we see is the necklace that you wear is a little different.
Yeah, no, I wear.
I guess it protects you from anybody getting too close.
Absolutely, yeah. No, if there's any predators or people wanna come at me, it's like, no, I got spikes on my neck, so you better watch out.
Now I know you, Cori, from.
I also have really big shoes too, just in case
big
people
shoes.
are like really.
Yeah, that is a little funky, I would say, a little bit, the whole shebang there. But Cori also is an extremely talented artist in her own right. Hey, Cori, can you give us a little background about your life and where you came from and all the, before I know we worked on the Undead together, but tell the audience, about a little about yourself.
All right. Well, I grew up in Rockland County, and I'm literally from here. And
if you grew up here, you'll live here.
Yeah, I grew up here, and I went to high school. I have a bachelor's degree in radio, television production from University of Central Florida. And I was just trying to find like my place of where I like fit in for like literally the longest time, because I couldn't always even be myself all of the time, and I just kind of like had to find that tribe and find that group of people that like accept me for who I really am.
Which we're going to be revealed on the show, which is going to be very interesting. So, Cori, as an artist, you're specialized in one area when you did the Undead. Would you want to tell everybody what you did basically?
Sure. Well, I actually specialize in a lot of areas, but for the Undead, for our feature film, I was the art director. But under that, I did Umbrella. I did like production design, which means that I put together all of the set design and picked out all of the like pictures and tchotchkes that go on a shelf, and iconography that goes in the background of a film to kind of like foreshadow what's going to come next in the film and what people's beliefs are.
There is a scene, I think, that you brought a lamb in. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm not legally allowed to talk about how we created the lamb effects of a dead baby lamb. But I can say that it was a really long process over the course of like 24 hours. I also almost like gassed myself out of my car as well, because I had a chest full of dry ice, and I didn't realize that like it emitted so much carbon monoxide that it would kill me in my car. So I almost gassed myself out of my car twice.
Well, the bad news about that, the other bad news is because of the editing process, that whole thing with the lamb.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be in the film.
No.
Sorry.
Michael, why?
I really did like the lamb, and it's a very principled part of the film. Now, Cori, I don't want to get too much to your rebel side because you are a nice person. The bud side we're not getting too much. We're just getting a little bit, but there is one part that's very interesting, and I have to. No, she's a very sweet person. The one thing about it is I know people that have collections.
Mm-hmm.
And in collection, I know people collect dolls. It's not a big deal, dolls, whatever. Not that much a rebel, but your collection of dolls is a bit different than the regular one. Do you want to tell people about it? Maybe show somebody one of the dolls?
Yeah, sure. Well, I have this terrible, horrible, disturbing habit of keeping creepy dolls and adopting creepy dolls into my abode. And if it's not creepy or like kind of haunted in a weird way, then I don't want it. So, but I give like these scary, creepy dolls a home, and
that's very nice.
Happy.
I think that's sort of nice. Do you want to show anybody some of your dolls that you have?
Okay, so actually, I have one of the props that we used on the Undead on the movie. This is one of them. So he is very old. This is a bisque doll. Supposedly dating back to the early turn of the century,
wow.
Early 1900s, because I was trying to make it like time accurate to what we wanted in the film. So its hair is actually made of mole hair, and so is its eyelashes. So when you turn it upside down, the eyes close and shut and open. And yeah, so this is one of my dolls that I've kept. I don't think anybody wanted this prop in the movie, but it was a pretty good find.
Yes, it looks right. It definitely does not look the type of doll I would give my younger daughter to play with. Doesn't look that pleasant.
Yeah, well,
but now if I know,
I delivered. But...
now if I need a creepy doll to hang out with, I guess I can call you.
Do you want to see some of my other ones?
Sure, we'd love to see that, please. I'm sorry that people who just visually just got to trust me that what you're seeing is creepy dolls.
Okay, so I have two more friends to show you.
We all look forward to seeing them.
So this is another one of them.
Oh my
Her
gosh.
hair is like a little disheveled. I found her at an estate sale. But her eyes are like really yellowed, if you're able to see that on the camera. And I found her at an estate sale and I fell in love with her, but I had to like buy some of her siblings. So I bought all of her siblings as well.
Are they as creepy as
she
her?
has a twin. No, they're a little less creepy than her,
good.
but for some reason she kind of just stole my heart.
Yeah, she ain't stealing my heart. I feel so sad for her. She's a little creepy. And when people come over your house and they see these dolls and meet you, what's their normal reaction? Do they run out of the house very quickly?
I give fair warning. But I also I offer to throw a sheet over like the part of my wall with all of my creepy dolls.
You know what? I don't mean to.
Some people are okay with it, and they actually like that about me.
You know, this is the one thing that everybody asks you when you're watching a horror movie. I don't know if you ever see Cori. I know you're probably a big fan of that.
Yeah.
People go into these creepy houses. They're gonna like stay for the weekend, and people say to me, "You know what? The house is so scary. Why just leave? Why even stay there?" And I know, like people come to your house and they don't even know, and they say they're creepy dolls. So people just like say, "Okay, nice knowing you, Cori. I'll talk to you later on."
No, because I give everyone warning.
You do give them warning, but I would love to see. I'd love to see Cori just like how people just come inside and like see if they stay there.
People's first reaction is definitely fun. Oh, and let me show you one of my last ones.
Okay.
So this one was made by a really talented artist living out in Brooklyn. I've bought multiple of their pieces before, but this is one of the most interesting ones that I've gotten from her very recently.
Wow, this is probably the creepiest ones I've ever seen.
She made this like
she's got some issues.
It's like this like spider anthropomorphic like clown baby. And she's got a lot of really great details on her. The eyes open and closed.
Do you know if the creator is seeing any therapists or anything like that?
Actually, I'm not in therapy right now.
Oh, you're the creator of this?
I did not create.
Oh no,
this.
I said the creator. No, the creator.
Oh, the creator.
Yeah, this is.
I
don't know.
Is, but she's really talented. She makes all these incredible pieces. And
yeah,
also
that is definitely scary. Wow, that's great for Halloween. This is
it's like half a night.
Is it the scariest one you have? It's got to be the scariest.
One of the scarier ones.
What's worse? What's scarier than this? I can't imagine. This thing, by the way, if people are not visually seeing it, he's got like 8 arms. His mouth is sewed with staples. Every part of this thing is creepy looking. There's nothing not creepy about it. Cori, that is really scary. Is there anything else more creepy? Any other dolls that I can't imagine anything else more creepy than that? I feel bad for those. Maybe I don't feel bad for those who are just listening. 'Cause this is really horrific. Um,
I love
man,
him.
yeah, he's got to be loved by his mother. So, but you said you might have something more scary than that.
Potentially, I might, but I think this one actually might be the scariest one in my collection thus far.
All right.
But at least they're not haunted. They're just scary looking, but
How do you know they're not
There's
haunted?
nothing attached to it. The only one that may actually be haunted is her. Like she's a little bit haunted. Her facial expressions like change sometimes.
Whoa.
And yeah, sometimes she's happy, sometimes she's a little mad, but she's not really like super overly active.
And what do you do with the dolls, by the way, other than keep them on the wall? Do they go to take to lunch with you?
No, they just
no?
sit on a shelf.
So
I also use them for a lot of like backgrounds and videos.
Oh, okay.
And I use them as like props for a lot.
You know, if you go on a date with someone, you bring a doll with you, like, hey, meet my favorite doll.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to get rid of somebody,
every time I have a date, I bring them into my room and I introduce them to all of my dolls.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I tell them all their names.
How many do you have?
I think right now my collection stands at maybe 20-ish.
20. And what's the most expensive one?
The most expensive one, I think, definitely him.
Really?
100% him.
How much does him go for?
I don't know if I want to say because it was on the budget.
So, I mean, is there a market
But
like
he's
after?
definitely expensive.
Is there a market of creepy dolls specifically that you could sell them online and stuff, or you could rent them out probably?
Nah, you don't really want to rent them out just because like.
Annabelle.
Like this guy, everything on his body, like all of his limbs are from like different composts and stuff. Like the top is.
I could say.
Like kind of a paper mache sort of situation.
I feel sorry for him.
Composite.
I just feel sorry for him, even though it's a doll.
The arms are plastic, also composite, but the head is made of porcelain. So the head of a doll is actually the most like expensive part, and seeing as he's potentially about a century old,
wow,
he's in really great condition for being about a century old.
Okay, so Cori, we're going to talk about some newer topics other than the dolls. You also were involved in.
Is it okay if I leave them right here? Just
yeah, I'm not going to look at them. This sort of, yeah, you can turn them on.
They're my friends.
Okay, I really can't be that abusive to you because the dolls were really. Are they your friends? It's sort of scary.
She's watching.
I know that. Thank you for reminding me. And so you also involved in the film short called Restaurant Review.
Yes.
And you were like the assistant director with us. We worked together as a team on that.
Yep.
We had a little incident there, which was pretty interesting.
An incident? What incident did we have?
Well, the main actor didn't show up at the last.
You're right.
That's pretty much an incident.
I almost forgot. Yeah. So one of the actors that we hired did not show up for the production. So we very last minute had to call in Cliff Bugatti, who was on the show last minute. Who was on the show last week, I mean. And he killed it. He killed the game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was sometimes things, as the saying goes, I know if you don't know about this, a chip cookie was invented by accident. So maybe that's an example where sometimes disasters work out for the benefit. Yeah, we were in between. We had to change the whole schedule around. That was moving things all without him.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was going to happen. We had another person, and it made it a little more interesting.
Yeah,
you never know.
But it was fine. It was a 2-man crew of me and our main producer, Mina.
I don't know. I think I'm the director. I don't know if I can get a quote.
Well, no. You wrote it, and you directed and everything, but like me and Mina had to like take care of like, a lot of like the technical logistics and like the camera work and the lighting and continuity and prop design and all of the props that
all the little details that I don't like to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I had to like do the food and everything, and I quickly we had to do like a bloody like rare steak situation. So I went to your house.
That's right.
Really
I remember
quick before, and like
that steak was definitely rare.
I undercooked that steak to perfection for you.
I know someone who likes steaks that way. I could have gave it to him afterwards.
No,
he likes it raw.
You put fake blood.
Oh, maybe the fake blood he wouldn't like it, but he likes it really raw.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just wanted to update everyone. There's some interesting entertainment news. I mean, basically the things that are trending. One of them is this Marilyn movie, which I thought was really called Blonde.
Right.
Don't act like you saw it because I don't think you've seen it.
I actually.
But no, it's okay. It's okay because I wanted to just give you my take on it, and you could just
Yeah.
wanted to say because
Absolutely. I've heard a lot of reviews about
the
it.
biggest thing I want to say to you is it's interesting when you make a film or do anything in projecting is whether you're going to do art or entertainment. So art is like something to me where people like who are like quote seeing something that makes them like think differently, and but it's not always so entertainment.
Yeah.
Not like dragging, like action movies always boom 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 or like a horror boom boom. So I would say Blonde leans more to the art side than the entertainment. So there are scenes that are a little slow
Okay.
and a little paced out, but and in terms of cinematography, it's amazing the way they come from black and white, different. See the way the camera work is, it's incredible. The whole part of it, the woman who plays Marilyn Monroe is unbelievable as an actress. It's really amazing. What I learned from it, it's an interesting take on it, is the whole thing that this person Marilyn Monroe had everything going for it. Everyone would think fame, fortune, beauty,
youth.
right. But the movie shows how just having a dysfunctional family. She's an orphan, and one of in the film they emphasize her need of a father and how bad it was that she didn't have the mother kept pushing the father, and the mother was unbelievably abusive, supposing in the movie again.
Yeah.
And how that affects you even as you're going through the life. That whole haunts you as you're going to a horror movie.
Sure.
It haunts you still. The dysfunctionality still holds on to you, and I guess it's amazing because again you look at someone who had so great life. It seemed like.
Yeah.
And the second part is the idea of how she was objectified.
Yeah.
And I don't, I don't want to sound politically correct 'cause I hate politically correct, but I also understand at the same time that people sometimes do objectify people, just like make them like, you're beautiful, so you have to be this way, whatever.
Sure.
And she wanted to be bigger, and so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's like also like politics aside, the way that sometimes people treat public figures and public celebrities, it's almost like they're not human anymore once you become like a public entity, which I think is definitely something that we should change in our society because, especially now, like we have TikTok and YouTube, and we have like these really, really young people that are reaching like viral sensation fame. Like we got Charlie D'Amelio, we got I don't know why I can't think of any other ones. What's her name that made the driver's license song?
I know what you're talking about. Yes, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yes, the driver's license chick.
Yes,
like she's so
big,
young.
yeah.
Like,
and she moved really quickly. Yeah, no, and they move very. And the thing about any of this, and all the young, you see them in a lot of children actors, they start really move up really quickly. Even in the old days.
Yeah, look at Demi Lovato. Like, Demi Lovato has like gone through like a lot of things.
Right, and so Marilyn Monroe's life was really difficult. And it has an interesting because again I'm pro-life. It's a really strong pro-life message, but even the idea of that her wanting to have somebody to hold that she felt strong with.
She wanted a kid.
She wanted
a kid really bad.
And the thing that's very interesting, I don't want to, again, I don't want to get into political, I'm talking about, but the point I'm trying to say is that the whole idea about being pro-choice, in those days in Hollywood, the choice was the director or the manager sometimes.
Right.
They didn't want a young woman to deliver a baby who's like the sex thing. So we don't know if that's true, but they didn't want.
They thought it was like obscene and inappropriate.
So
when I Love Lucy came on the air, which was like around the same time that Marilyn rose to fame, when Ricky Ricardo and Lucille Ball, Lucy was pregnant, she wasn't allowed to say the word pregnant. She had to say, "I'm having a baby." Like they weren't even allowed to like sleep in the same bed on screen.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is. It's interesting. Different cultures. It's weird, but it's weird how they quote made the choice for her, supposing the movie that she's not gonna have this baby. We don't know if that's true or not because again, this is the movie take of it. But it's an interesting that they pushed her in such a way that so her life was all messed up in that way, and she was objectified. And just to see it differently.
Really sure if like it was producers that made the
story or whether it's
made up the story or if she maybe had a miscarriage. A lot of people said for a very long time that it was a miscarriage.
Yeah.
I guess like to save producers and statute of limitations and stuff, they didn't say that it was the producer's fault.
And now the artistic angle, like what I think about when I'm watching that movie is how like they made Kennedy look terrible in the movie. They made him look just like a, do what I want you to do. You're just a piece of meat, And to me, it came across, even though they didn't put it out there in the film, that maybe they didn't want her to be known, and maybe they took Marilyn out earlier than it should have
Maybe
been.
potentially, but
There's a lot of room. I'm just saying.
JFK left this world not too far after that.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean,
who
it's
knows who's in charge of life and death in that realm of
right.
Entertainment.
They didn't tell you that, but I'm just saying. Like sometimes they leave you little puzzles, and I'm just wondering if they wanted you to think that a little bit.
Right.
Which leads me to another big topic came up this week. Another one you didn't watch. Tell everybody she didn't do her work. Kanye West was on Tucker Carlson, and the reason it's very interesting you bring that up with Marilyn is he felt he was objectified, and he's saying his mental illness is because he was objectified, because he was supposed to be the average African American person, same political views, same thing, and because he's quote pro-life and he was for Trump. They try to destroy him, destroy his marriage. This is his take on the whole thing, and they wouldn't let him be himself. And because of that, he said he needed a lot of mental health treatment and so forth. It was like a 2 hour. It was a really interesting interview with him. I mean, his life. Whether he's all that or not.
I think he feels a lot of guilt because he didn't kill his mother, but he basically accidentally killed his mom.
I didn't even see that in the video.
So he doesn't talk about that a lot, but all of this really kind of started when he paid for his mother to have like a plastic surgery, and it was like a really expensive plastic surgery, so nothing should go wrong. But his mother passed away because of the plastic surgeon that Kanye paid to do plastic surgery on his mother.
Wow.
So after that's when things were kind of going south for Kanye.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, what we know that the very famous comedian. Oh, interesting. I didn't. Of course, we didn't get that. I didn't get that in the interview.
Well, because he's not gonna say that that's the reason why, because he's not obviously not in therapy right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Needs help.
Well, that's the question, whether he needs help. And I mean, when I'm watching the interview, I mean, again, I lean to his views, so it's hard, but he does wander on different topics all over the time. And he's very interesting. He talks about, like, he wore a shirt that called White Lives Matter, which was very controversial.
Yeah.
But the idea of that he's trying to say is that every life matters, and that we're doing this whole thing. That was his take on the whole 9 yards.
Sure, but I don't know if that was really as successful as he thought it was going to be.
I don't know. He always likes to turn the needle a little bit.
Yeah, he likes to be controversial.
Yeah, well,
I feel like he's panning to the wrong crowd.
Well, we'll see what happens on that. I mean, my position on that is my position. The Black Lives Matter.
Would you wear a White Lives Matter shirt?
No, that would get killed here.
Exactly. But
no, I couldn't wear that.
Because it's ridiculous.
No, I mean, I think all lives matter, and I think that we shouldn't have this whole. I think I've always been, every life, from the smallest person to the biggest person, every person's important in life, and God put us all in this place. So the whole movement was the whole title was a silly title as a whole. It should have been like, we pray every life.
Which also is like, I get the whole Black Lives Matter thing, because it's, aside from saying that all lives matter, it's a different sort of thing where it's like a movement of giving light to the mistreatment of Black people, and how people are kind of like treated really terrible based on their skin tone and how they look.
I would differ on that, because I know people that were treated poorly based on other reasons. They could be just speak poorly, or they can.
I poorly because I'm Jewish.
And then people. So I mean, I don't like any names. Matter of fact, I've been in a place where they said, "Oh, you didn't get this because you're Jewish," and unless it's something that I know for a fact, I say it's me, because I don't think it's healthy for any person to feel like they're the victim. I don't think it's a healthy thing. It's always good.
Victimhood is very.
It brings you down, and it gives you an excuse for not being as good as you can.
Not doing better.
Right. Yeah. The whole movement of Black Lives Matter has actually hurt African American people more than helped them. That's why they destroyed a lot of African.
That's the the people who don't actually understand what a movement means, and also like what good protest means. Like, there were people going out and protesting that have never gone to a protest in their life, and they don't know the etiquette, and they don't know how to be at a protest, so it just makes people look bad, and also kind of like makes them just like look like I guess the wrong side of the argument.
Cori, I was where I work. This guy that owns a Hispanic business.
Yeah.
His place was destroyed with this Black Lives Matter movement, and to me, there's no excuse for that, and there's no excuse for any violence like that.
Yeah, of course.
Now we're going to talk in a few moments, Cori, and a little bit more. We're getting a little too emotional. It's a little too emotional at this moment. I think we're going to go on to some hot music topics.
All right.
So we're gonna take a little break and we'll go right into some hot music. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
So this is a breaking song. I just heard this right now. It was like in that breaking news.
Oh yeah.
And I just think it's one of my favorite songs that just came out. Just like, sometimes you just need escape.
Yeah.
And this is gonna play this right now. It's called "Then It All Goes Away"
Sure.
by Dayglow. Did you hear it yet?
I haven't.
Oh, it's so exciting for you. Yeah. First, I gotta make sure you hear it.
I like that one.
So I think it has a very upbeat music. It feels like a 70s almost dance song.
Fine.
Yeah, it grabs you right
Yeah.
away. Sometimes you have to
I'm
think
feeling
about
that.
it. Sometimes you think about it, you think, oh well, I'm not sure I like it, but right away it's got the beat, it's got the rhythm, he's got a nice
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, it's got everything. No, I really like that
It
one.
makes you
I
want to
think
dance.
I think I've heard of Dayglow before.
Yeah,
They're
they-
very like poppy, poppy.
Yeah, I guess it's poppy, but it's just it feels like a jumpy, happy song in a
it's
good
like
mood,
good indie pop, like summer jam.
So now let me put on. Maybe this is. I don't know if it's political. I don't think it is at all. But this is a country song I just heard. Totally opposite of this effect.
I like country.
It's called "Wait in the Truck" by Hardy.
Eat in the Truck by
Yeah,
Heart.
this is a little bit of a
I
I'm gonna
wonder if
play
my
this.
sister knows that one. She's a
This is pretty new to me.
country fan.
It's this one. So with this song is like most country songs, is a story specifically told, and it's about a woman being abused and him going out and taking care of,
saving her.
yeah, killing the guy. Well, yeah, but he also kills the guy that does
He
it.
kills the guy? Oh,
Yeah,
that's badass.
yeah. And he goes to jail.
I like that.
And it's just there's no room
Yeah.
for you to think.
Yeah.
Everything is there.
I like a good story though.
It is a good story, and it's an interesting story, and the video is exactly there's no like thought process. You don't have to worry about like, oh, did I miss something? Was there something
Right.
deeper in it? No, it's right there, right in front of you, and
Right.
it's the idea of somebody going to step further to save somebody's life, which is now we're gonna go in a totally different world because I don't know what this song is about at all yet. So maybe you can figure this out. This is called "Golden Hour"
Yeah.
by JVK. JVK. I don't think JVK Piano. Is it? Let's see. This is it. There it is. Okay, so what's
I was
that
liking
song?
that one.
Yeah, it is a very good song, but we don't want to make people have to listen to all our songs right away. But
I was vibing with it though.
So now I got three different things there. We got one more of a piano, one really poppy fun, and one with a very serious topic.
Yeah.
Now, so if you had to choose one in the show right now, which is your favorite song? I guess it'd be tough to say right now.
I think the Dayglow song.
The Dayglow's gonna stay with you, and that's why I guess pop songs do come out because it's a very fun.
The Dayglow song was a total vibe, but Jake is very talented.
Oh, you've seen him in other parts.
Yeah, I think he's on TikTok a lot. He's very talented.
Right. I mean, that piano playing was amazing.
Yeah. Well, that was a live. The video that we watched, that was like a live video. So
right. Live.
That was him playing live. Like that's incredible.
It's nice to see. There's so many new artists that come out, and I think a lot. What was getting me very confused is the only thing good about the pandemic.
Yeah.
Is a lot of the talented artists had the time.
Yeah.
To make really good art.
Really did. Like I know a lot of people that had like hit songs like come out and they really like rose to Spotify fame and stuff. And like one of my friends, Bartiz Strange, he released an album back in 2020 and it skyrocketed like so hard, and really proud of him, and he's dope. I got to work with him a while ago, and yeah, so like people like him. There's also a girl called Bree, I think her name is, or Burr or something.
Bree
like
sounds
that.
delicious right now. Get some cheese.
But she's very good. She came out with this like demo called Lemons, and it was like such a smash hit for like at least 6 months, which is really cool. And because especially since like the cycle's like, sometimes only a month of people really liking a song, but she really had people like loving her song for like literally about 6 months or even over 6 months. So she was really like, the single of the year, and that was just a demo.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That was really sick.
It's just that I think with having more time during the pandemic, a lot of the artists, I think there's gonna be a lot better films and music because again, there's much of the stories that people had a chance to write or the music they had to produce wasn't under as much time constraint.
Yeah.
So they had a chance to, because they weren't going on tour, so they had a chance to do that. So I'm telling you, the music really great right now, And with that note, I have some new business ideas that will either make people a lot of money, lose money, or do something very different. Are we ready for that? Okay, we're going to talk about some interesting business ideas. One of them, I'm thinking about actually developing myself with some talented people here.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know if you've ever been to like a bar mitzvah or a wedding
recently. I actually had a bar mitzvah.
Okay. In the old days, they used to take a picture of somebody, and they used to like behind them, they used to like them skiing or doing in a fancy car and stuff like that.
Oh,
you seen that? Like green, like
a senior picture or something, but
it's more like a green screen thing. Like if you're doing whatever you want to be doing, and like in a Lamborghini or you're bigger or something like that.
I did that back when I was like a senior in high school. It was like senior portraits.
But what I'm thinking about is something that people, some being that people find really important in their life, their best friend.
Okay.
What we call their four-legged friend. Dogs, people say, oh, you take a picture of a dog and say, oh, it's a cute dog to you, right? Whatever.
Sure.
But how about if we did the same idea on a green screen type thing?
Oh.
So now that dog could be swimming in the water, maybe, or going to the moon, or flying like Superman.
All right.
So when people come over the house and see your dog or your cat, or maybe even your doll, when they see your favorite object, it's not just there, but in a wild format.
Oh, like a metaverse kind of
thing. So right, so it adds a little bit more. So now that even means more to you, means because it's hard to make what you feel for, let's say, an animate or an animal or pet or a person, it mean as much to you. But if you can do that with something that means, so people come over would feel that type of impact.
Okay, yeah.
So let's take one of your dolls.
Okay.
So let's take that nice little doll. Where would you, let's say he was, what kind of background would you put him in to make it more exciting, so people could understand what it means to you?
Okay, I'd probably put him in like a haunted carnival or something, like a haunted house. I actually saw the film Fun House last night. It's like a film about a bunch of teenagers going into a fun house at a carnival, and drama ensues. It was supposed to be like a rough spin-off of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and I got to see that last night with a friend of mine. So, yeah, that's where
Maybe but I think I would put him, if I was doing it, I would have him swimming with some dolphins.
You look really cute swimming with some dolphins.
And because it's a green screen, you could do that. And people are like, but because because you think of like people think, it would be the opposite of what people think, but you think of it like almost comforting, like dolphins.
Yeah,
or maybe
sure.
so you put him like with petting a puppy, because it would think, they're just,
Puppy.
with a puppy, and people are like, wow, that's interesting, because you think you almost feel close to it.
Okay.
The idea, so the dog star idea is, again, people want to show their pets in a different light.
Sure.
And so this way you can do that.
Friends.
Or they're friends, thank you, in a more unique life. So that light, so that would be the idea, and you put the picture on the wall, you have so forth, and that's called Dog Star. And I'm thinking about working with some people to get that going, so I'm going to let you know about that one.
Yeah.
One idea, which is very controversial.
Okay.
You sure? We talk about Black Lives Matter. This is even more controversial.
Let's see if I like it.
All right, here you go. So like you probably know nowadays the dating scene's a little tricky. Am I right about it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know a lot of people go in and out of relationships, and it's hard, and you don't have that whole, you don't know how it's going to end. You're not sure what's going to happen, so forth.
Okay.
So this is called lease a wife, lease a husband.
Lease a wife or lease a husband.
You said that perfectly. Yes.
Lease a.
So the idea is that instead of being in a marriage contract, you're in a lease contract. So you're there for like 2 years between the two of you. At the end of 2 years, it's officially over. If you want, you can extend it like a lease. You could end it at 2 years. You make the terms, whether you're going to live together, whatever you're going to do, it's in a contract.
Right.
So they're right there. And this way, it's all set. You don't have to worry about it. Is that something you think that would fly in this world?
I actually really like that one. I feel like that would actually fix a lot of problems that people have, because what's worse than having like divorce papers that you have to fill out, and it's like like thousands and thousands of dollars in like divorce settlements and divorce papers, and
the only thing is you have that big marriage party. If you over that, you maybe have a big lease party.
Well, you could have a big marriage lease party. I honestly kind of vote for the marriage lease. I think that's a really great idea.
And I mean, the idea is also, then do you think there'll be that difficulty at the end of the lease where someone says, you know what, I'd like to stay, and then someone says, I don't want to stay?
Well, the contract is over, baby, but that's the beauty of the contract.
Right, so let's extend it.
If both parties are not consenting, then you don't have to.
And like now, with the lease contract, all the things would be spelled out, let's just say.
Yeah.
I'm not being in particulars, but let's say you want to add or delete to that during the contract time.
Okay.
The terms would you be able to do that, you think?
Well, they would have to go through a lawyer, or...
Well, there'd be papers. So I think everything would be done online. You'd meet the person, of course, and go on a date or two, whatever, and then you decide you want a lease instead of getting married.
Well, the lease would have to definitely, like, you'd have to go through the same thing as, like, marriage papers, probably, and, like, do the whole, like, legal thing, because it's a legally binding contract. And, I guess you can make amendments if both parties are consenting.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right.
But,
the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So it's an interesting concept, especially nowadays, because there are less people getting married. I think am I correct?
I think so. Yeah, there's less people getting married because it's too permanent. Like, who knows? Like, people change they say your skin cells regenerate about every 7 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people's personalities also regenerate sometimes every 5 to 7 years, or even 10 years or so.
Right. So people do change.
People.
And people change. But again, the big thing then, again, I'm being critical of my idea, which is not just mine. But my point about it is that I know.
Because I like it too.
No, I'm playing. No, the reason I say is that it's the idea that also, like with the marriage thing, is that people know for better, for worse, along with sickness and health, all that stuff.
Well, of
They
course.
leave that left. So
It's a beautiful sentiment, but is it modern?
Right.
By other people's standards.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I necessarily.
I wonder if they can hire a rabbi, a priest, or a minister would have for a lease contract. It'd be interesting.
I bet they would. Money for the congregation, am I right?
Maybe a little faster. All right, we're going to come back with some really strange facts before we leave, and a final note to keep you. So, a little strange fact, I think an interesting fact, which will come to my conclusion later on, but Hamilton, as you might have known, died in a duel without birth.
Yeah, there was a whole musical about it.
Yes, but most people don't know that his son previously died in a duel.
Really?
And what makes it even more interesting,
Mm-hmm.
the same way that he died, his son, is the way he died. The same way that Philip died is the same way Aaron died.
Oh, wow.
Because both of them refused to shoot their opponent
Wow.
beforehand, and they waited. They just shot in the air, basically shot some distance, and then the other person shot them.
Wow.
So and this happened years before. But what's also interesting is once he died, his sister Angela, she went insane. In those days, and they just put her in the hospital. What I don't know what they had in those days, but she just lost it, which you don't really read about too much in the whole nine yards. The whole thing about dueling is fascinating.
Absolutely.
You know, like we had a conversation here, and I thought you said something really wrong about me. I would say I challenge you to a duel.
Would you?
Well, I'm not allowed to anymore. Like you said, like you're a liar, and it's like okay, that's what they used to do. Just
I
like,
do have a concealed carry permit.
and you just
so
and you
that
walk
would
and you
show.
walk like and there's a you walk like 10 feet away from each other, and you turn around and whoever shoots you. It wasn't quote legal, but it
Can I
wasn't
duel you
illegal.
in the clown outfit?
This is not legal anymore. You can't do it anymore.
Okay.
But it wasn't. It was. I mean, Aaron Burr when he shot Hamilton, he lived regular life. He didn't like whatever. And and Hamilton was loved. So it was like you're allowed to do that, sort of. You know, it wasn't legal in New York. He did it in Jersey.
Right.
He went in Weehawken, so you can go to Weehawken and see the actual area.
So me and you
of
could
that
go to
duel.
Weehawken and
I
shoot
know
each
it's
other?
not legal anymore.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So Cori, let me ask you a question. If people want to know more about what you're up to, what you're doing, is there a certain way they can get in touch with you, see you?
Yeah, sure. You can go to my personal account on Instagram, Scary Warhol, Scary, Scary, and then Warhol as in Andy Warhol. And then my personal media business that I post all my photography work and my art director work and prop making work and wardrobe stylist work. I don't know what else I do these days, but I post everything that I'm doing on Scary World Media. That is my Instagram handle for my business. And then my website is just my name, Cori Schimko, and that's my portfolio and all of the rest of the works that I do, including like bands and music and all the rest of the fun things that I do. So yeah.
And also, just so you know, everyone knows that we worked on Undead, so that's coming out, God willing, within the next month or so, and also Restaurant Review. So there's two productions involved, and it's going to be those are both going to be extremely entertaining, and hopefully everyone's going to enjoy them. I want to leave a note. So you might say, hey, how do I know all these Hamilton facts?
Okay.
How do you know that, right? So the point is, I finished the Hamilton book, which is like 800 pages.
Wow, good job, bud.
Thank you.
It's hard to find time to read.
Well, yeah, it's bathroom breaks. It's just big. Anytime you break, yeah, and just in between sleeping, so forth. Yeah. But the point of the matter of life is this. I mean, you talk about making a film and how big an achievement. Not everyone does that in life. You know, people do all different things. But whatever you do as an individual, you should just feel good about. You should set goals.
Absolutely.
And make and try to move up that ladder little by little and feel good about what you do. It doesn't have to be. It could be something that's like reading a book or teaching my dog to go outside and outside, not to get more details.
Very proud.
All those things, people should focus on feeling good about what they do in life, especially in the world that we live in, which is very difficult with the economy and crime and inflation, all this difficulty. Yeah. Just take a moment and be happy of the small achievements that you make. And by the way, when you move up 1 foot, sometimes you move 2 feet down, but as you're moving up the ladder, you feel really great. So take the time to do it, and God bless you all for listening. Thank you. Signing off for the Bud Rebel Show. Have a great week. Take care.